back to my channel. My name is Kelsey. I'm a graphic designer, brand designer, and it is officially October. I'm so excited to be doing a reflect video today, just looking back on the month of September and looking ahead to this month and just sharing all the details with you on that. If you like videos like this, I make all kinds of videos around days of my life, behind the scenes, and graphic design. So feel free to subscribe and I would love to have you stick around. Basically, this morning I'm going to be sharing just a whole variety of items that I go through each month and reflect on the month, like I said, set plans for the month to happen, and just prepare for October as best as I can. I'm going to share all the details with you. I would love to hear what you are planning for October, or maybe what you do to reflect on the previous month. Feel free to comment down below, or we can always connect over on Instagram. Feel free to shoot me a message, but grab a coffee, and I'll go ahead and share my list of tasks today. So I'm just gonna pop up a list of the tasks in order of what we'll be going through. First off, it will be the favorites and month recap, which is super fun to do. I just started sharing this last month, like I mentioned, and I'm so excited to dive into it today. So let's get into that. First up, if you see me referencing over here, I have my laptop here, so I'll be kind of moving through different aspects, and that's the way I track it month to month. It's just all digitally. I do it a lot on my notes app. I'll share my screen along the way on specific things, but for favorites, I have quite the list and I'm excited to share it. First up, for memories, September was such a busy month. I had every single weekend jam-packed. The first weekend, I went on a bachelorette trip in Nashville, which is always a really fun time. And it was just so special to spend time with one of my long childhood best friends who's getting married in October, so I'm excited for that. But basically, her bachelorette trip was definitely a highlight of my month. I also spent a weekend in Madison, Wisconsin, which is where my best friend lives, and it was so fun. Jake and I went and visited her and spent some time with her and her boyfriend and her friends, and it's just always such a wonderful time. I love Madison, especially in the fall. And then lastly, I spent a weekend up north in Minnesota in Duluth, also on the Wisconsin side in Superior, and was visiting a college friend. I went with one of my college friends that lives in the Twin Cities, and we went up there and just had a girls' weekend. We went shopping, went to breweries. It was so fun. It was so great. It made me feel like I was in college again, which is bittersweet because obviously that's such a fun feeling to have, and it also makes you kind of sad because I used to live in a house with these two girls, and it was just so special to just spend the weekend where we could get ready again together, we could do things together, and just fall makes you really feel nostalgic and back in school almost. So that was so great, and it was so special because the friend we were visiting got engaged recently and we hadn't seen her yet since she was engaged. So it was so nice to spend time with her, and it was her birthday. So it was just a great trip to really celebrate her and just spend time together. For creations, I'm really excited to share a pumpkin sketch I did. It was really fun. It was an Instagram reel I created just of me drawing it on Procreate and bringing it into Adobe Illustrator and making it into a vector and making it into just a fun fall graphic. So that was my favorite thing I created in the month. I had quite a variety of design finds throughout the month as well that just were really inspiring for me. I actually made a recap reel of it on the last day of September. So just to briefly share on each of those, Pod and Parcel, which is for Nespresso pods that I was just really inspired by their packaging, came across it, and thought it was overall extremely beautiful. This account, Tropical Type, was just super inspiring for type design and to just explore that avenue a little bit more. They have a lot of great resources for fonts and variety of items to check out if you are a designer or if you are just looking for a new typeface. Then I have Lone Candles. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but their candles are just extremely gorgeous. I love the word mark of Lone, and so I thought they were beautiful and I wanted to share them. And then lastly, this company called Fresh Scents, which was a bouquet delivery service, and these are just so beautiful. The whole experience of it just overall looked so aesthetic and nice that I was obsessed with it when I saw it, so it definitely went on my list. Over on media, for things that I really loved, the show Uncoupled on Netflix. It was so funny. I watched it so quick. I'd highly recommend it. It just had a great group of actors in it and caught my attention all along the way. I'm so excited. I hope they make a season 2. I don't know if they are, but I would definitely watch it. And then the show Dated and Related. This show I was hooked on and I loved. I have grown to love just a classic reality TV show, and I really like the ones on Netflix, so this one was super fun. For products, I have it here, which this is just a favorite every year. It's the vanilla pumpkin scented candle from Trader Joe's. I love this. I burn it all the time. I'll just burn this while I'm working. And I mean, obviously if you go to Trader Joe's, you know how good their candles can be. And then for my purchases, so first up, I wanted to share this. This was a thrift find, which I obsessed with this oversized, just kind of cardigan style. And then I also got a sweater vest that I am obsessed with and so happy to have in my closet for the fall. Goals and review setting is one of my favorite things that I do every month. I love doing this. I've been doing this for a couple years and it's just been so wonderful to go through and do. If you saw my previous month video, I just do this on a spreadsheet. I make one of these each year and I just go through and recap each month. So obviously we're at the start of October, and so I'm just gonna quickly move through these. Basically, a lot of these I just continue to just copy and paste the yes on. So morning full glass of water, exercise 4 times a week, walk 30 minutes. Those are all yeses. The journal 30 minutes, that's a no. I don't do super great with that. Read consistently, yes. And my book challenge, I am on book 18. So that's really exciting to have moved through. Loans, nothing new there. I'm continuing to make small payments, and then I'm just waiting for that reimbursement to come from the administration, and then I'll pay off the rest. I have it ready to go, so I'm excited to finalize that in 2023. For savings, this is something that I will dive through and do just on my own time, because I do look at my various bank accounts and combine them, and just any platform where I have income coming in and changing things like that, and just paying my credit card bills as well. So I'll go ahead and do this privately. I also like to get a bit more specific when it comes to my goals across social media and just improving the platform that I have there. So I'll go through and dive into just what's doing well on Instagram, what is doing well on YouTube, what is doing well on Pinterest, because I am trying to get back into posting regularly on there, and just see how I can continue to grow across each of these platforms, or what changes I can make to. I don't hold myself too accountable to these goals anymore, just because I feel like holding social media goals really does affect my mental health. I think sometimes it will mess with my head. They are good to have goals in general, but it's always slightly a delicate balance. So I'm gonna go through and just recap these items as well. Moving more into social media, I like to plan or loosely plan my content. I have this breakdown that I like to follow. My formula is to inform, inspire, and invest. That's the content that my goal is to get across, and kind of filter between. I don't make myself stick to a strict rotation. I don't make myself stick to this strict planning, but I like to have an idea of it, because if we look back in September, I said that I was gonna be posting at least 2 times a week. I didn't do that. I posted more so around once a week. I posted around twice, a couple times. But I also wanted to implement posting stories. So I started posting on Monday morning, and I would just recap my weekend, share photos from it, just inspiring items, and then I would talk about the list of things that I have going on in the week to come. I really like doing this. It's really fun to share what I'm working on, hold myself a bit accountable, and also be able to share that personal side of me as well. So that's something I'm so glad I started implementing, and I'm going to continue. This month, my goal is to start implementing regularly either the Wednesday or Friday stories. So My thought is Wednesday, I'm gonna start doing a Wednesday poll series. This could be about anything. I could do it about fall. It could be about just different type choices, which you prefer, color palettes, which you prefer, just items like that. I also wanna start sharing on Fridays just my favorite things, like favorite design things, favorite creators, favorite products, whatever that has been inspiring me. So I kind of started doing that. I did it as a month recap, and so I will be doing one of these throughout this month. I haven't decided which yet. Besides that, I just want to continue with the idea of posting twice a week, because this would be, I would post Tuesday, Thursdays ideally, and that way I would do stories the other days. I think that'd be a good balance. I used to stress out so much about needing to post so much that I feel like my content wasn't always extremely great. I feel like the quality of it would suffer then, so I'm trying to loosen up a little bit on that. When I go to plan this, I just, again, do it in my notes app. I look at this formula and then I break it out by the weeks and what I'm thinking for these stories. I also like to compare it with this Illustrator file I have. This one is just a catch-all for the summer, but I think I'm gonna go ahead and create a new version for fall, and so I don't have so much of a messy board to be working on.
I don't want you, not anymore.
Now that I have the board all set up, I'm just gonna go ahead and fill out the notes and update it for October and reflect it on that column over there as what I'm kind of thinking as I move along. I usually like to do a first post of the month, and so I'll just do some kind of take on it. I'll usually share just national days coming up and things like that. I have not had time to do it today, but I'm thinking maybe I could still do it at the beginning of the week as a couple days late. We'll see. Otherwise, I also just kind of go back and forth between having it completely be a graphic post and then have it be an image post and so. So I want to kind of continue that style throughout the month.
Running in circles right back to your door, and I'm so tired of trying to change your mind for the last time. City of love and of heartbroken fools, the streets are alive and remind me of you. And I can't go quiet on a Brooklyn bound train, so I stand alone in the Manhattan rain.
This task is one I am not a big fan of, but it's necessary to do. I try to offload my phone a little bit each month and go through and organize it. With managing social media accounts and just assisting with content creation, I get a lot of content on my phone and I just need to go through, offload it onto my computer so I have space on here again. So I'm gonna go ahead and dive through that. I try to refresh my website throughout the whole month really, but I like to dive a little bit into it at the beginning of each month. Last month, I think I shared that I was starting to recap a portfolio and get that together. I am so close for that to be done. So I'm gonna go ahead, work on that, try to wrap it up so I can link those pages and have a full portfolio to share on my website. Seems simple, but when you are taking client work, you push off your own stuff a lot. I mean, it's not even when you have clients, just internally you push off your own personal things you need to do when it comes to a business. And so I just need to dive in and wrap this up and finish it. And I'm gonna go ahead and think about my goals for my website throughout the month as well, what I want to focus on, what I want to start to implement. A couple things that I have in the works is I would love to have a blog on my website. I would love to have a couple new resource pages and things like that. I'm gonna start planning out how I can maybe get that kicked off. But first up, let's recap this portfolio and get it wrapped up all nicely.
Try to hide it, but you won't.
This is a big one because I haven't been great at doing it, but I'm trying to get back on track again with it as well. Just prepping and recapping my taxes, going through my expenses, and just doing a little more than just kind of marking how much I have in my savings. Overall, I need to keep track of my taxes, obviously, for my own business and make sure I have everything clear that way, but just internally to know what I've been spending money on is also great. For tracking my taxes, I use a just spreadsheet that my accountant shared with me, and it's been pretty great to use so far. I do need to start just planning more heavily for my 2022 taxes since January is going to be here before we know it. So just going through and doing this now is really great. I just look at my different credit card statements and my expense sheets and things like that and input it into different categories and break down where I'm spending money. Lastly, I want to do some cleaning and organizing and get that all set up. Now, since I am doing this on October 1st, which is a Saturday, I am just gonna be working on cleaning and organizing throughout the weekend and when I have just pockets of time to do that. So I will try to share that and bring you along the way. Basically, just cleaning and organizing is like any typical place. I love to vacuum, clean my bathroom, just get everything organized, put into place. And I'm trying to be better about cleaning out my closet, going through things, putting things away. I do need to switch out my fall sweaters even more. I've only taken out one box so far, but I would love to do that a little bit more and just continue to clean up and organize my space.
Got me so tired, running round my mind, overthinking all the time. City of love and of heartbroken fools. The streets are alive and remind me of you.
Thank you so much for watching this. I hope you enjoyed seeing all my monthly to-dos and reviewing and goal setting and everything that has come from September and looking ahead to October. I am so excited to get into this month. I hope you're excited too. Again, I would love to hear what you do for prepping for a month or recapping a month. Let me know in the comments down below. As always, feel free to subscribe if you like content like this. And thanks so much for watching. I will see you in the next one.